here are the top 5 Rachel rants. I'm Rachel. These are my rants. Number 5, Satanic Panic.
Do Satanists perform sacrifices?
No.
Yes. No. No, again, we do not believe in a higher power that is going to come down and fix our problems. There's no such thing as praying away in Satanism. And since we don't pray to a higher power, there is nobody to sacrifice to. Any sacrifices you hear of are not at the hands of Satanists, even if they claim to be. We don't sacrifice animals, we don't sacrifice babies, we don't sacrifice humans. Are we all clear?
Satan. Number 4, this is not a game.
On April 9th, 2017, a 17-year-old boy fell to his death from a roof.
Oh, he was probably partying, you say.
Well, you say wrong. He was playing Capture the Flag. The boy was playing an innocent game of Capture the Flag with his friends. First mistake, that game sucks. Sure, seems normal enough, only these boys decided to play the game on the roof of their school. Yes, baffling indeed. Well, this boy was having a parkour moment and decided to jump between buildings, but he misjudged the distance between the buildings and fell to his death. This must have been incredibly traumatic for his classmates, but I hope that we all learned an important lesson here. No running on roofs, no parkour, and certainly no trying to impress your friends with a combination of running on roofs and parkour. Actually, no running whatsoever. It has been decreed.
Idiots. Number 3, Dawson downfall.
In today's video, we asked the question, is Shane Dawson a reptilian shapeshifter sent here by the Illuminati to start a new MK Ultra? Yes. The answer is yes.
No, that's not how conspiracy theories work, bitch.
Okay, I'm kidding, of course. Shane Dawson is probably a human. It's no secret that I'm a little skeptical when it comes to religion, but I think I can speak objectively here and say that Jesus was 100% an alien. No question.
Now, a lot of parts of Jesus' story and the story of the Bible seem a little extraterrestrial. Think about it. Jesus claims that he's not of this world, and some believe that after he resurrected is when he was beamed back up into space, and that's why he's gone.
If we can take the Bible as fact, then I can take my favorite book, Stranger in a Strange Land, as fact as well. In using the laws of Robert Heinlein, Jesus is totally an alien. He arrives, does a bunch of magical shit, and has a strange relationship to big bodies of water. Just like Michael Valentine, who's my Jesus, who can manipulate water. So hear me out on this one. Humanoid aliens, like Jesus and Michael Valentine from Stranger in a Strange Land, employ 100% of their brain capacity, whereas we humans living on the planet Earth only employ about 10% of our brain capacity. My theory is that aliens or Martians or what have you, Jesus or Michael Valentine, were from another planet, employing 100% of their brain power so they can change perception. Oh my God, this water turned into wine. It's very possible that it's still water, but he's manipulating your perception to make you see wine. Oh, I'm walking on water. Guess what? Humans used to be amphibious. So is it possible that aliens just never evolved out of that and have kept properties that allow them to walk on water? I would say 100% that's possible.
A few moments later.
Okay, so here's what the Scientific American says, that the fact that we use 10% of our brain is complete bullshit. But hey, that's rude because it completely debunks my theory about Jesus being an alien. So if Jesus is an alien, he's Chris Angel. So I really hope he's an alien.
Shane Dawson. Number 2,
Lonely Luigi. Luigi is perpetually in the shadow of his loud, proud brother Mario. It's a him, a Mario. Always. We get it, Mario. You have a hot girlfriend and the jumping ability of an early 90s Michael Jordan. But have you thought, even for a moment, to check in with your brother Luigi? The reason I ask is because from the looks of this Easter egg, Luigi would have benefited from some brotherly love. In the game Luigi's Mansion, there's a scene where Luigi stands in a room with 3 phones as lightning cracks through the windows. Everything is normal until Luigi picks up the middle phone. It's then you see Luigi's shadow shift from like a normal Luigi man to hanging next to him with lifeless arms. Some people claim that that's a glitch, but it looks way too intentional. If you're playing Luigi's Mansion, go to the 3rd floor during the thunderstorm and give Luigi a hug, because honey, he needs it.
Luigi.
Number 1, collective think. Now, this is my favorite theory. Not just because it's the right one, but because to me it's the freakiest. Turns out we're all experiencing a collective freak out. You ever feel alone, disconnected from your fellow human? Well, fear not. We are connected in the creepiest of ways. Subconsciously. Let's say that you are at a lunch table and you avoid a particular seat. The next kid that comes to sit at that lunch table will avoid that seat as well. What that first person did by avoiding the chair was accidentally create a narrative surrounding the chair. This normal-ass seat at a lunch table became an unspoken thing to avoid. We choose to believe things that we think will save our damn lives. When there are stories that date back to the 12th century that suggest that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day, it becomes part of biology to believe that it is indeed unlucky. While you know it's probably nothing, that sense of dread associated with Friday the 13th never goes away. Like, the thought of my mom traveling by plane on Friday the 13th really just freaks me all the way out. Even though my cognitive brain knows, Rachel, it's just a day, but my heart brain says, don't let your mom get on that metal beast. Don't go to a dinner table. 13 people. Mom, stay home. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to Slaytrix, which is not this channel, it's a different channel. You already subscribed to this. As if the thought of having kids wasn't terrifying enough, I thought the worst thing that babies did was shit on your hands. Turns out they also murder people. Let's explore the top 5 killer kids. Waterbeds are nefarious. If it's not 1993 and you own a waterbed, I'm gonna assume you love murder. Well, guess what? Joshua Phillips had a waterbed, and I think you know where this is going. One night, Josh's mom found his waterbed leaking, but it wasn't leaking water, it was leaking human. Oh no! One day, 14-year-old Josh was playing in the yard when he accidentally hit his 8-year-old neighbor Maddie on the head with a baseball, which hurts. It happened to me before, but it does not kill you. Usually. So after getting hit in the head with a baseball, she naturally started crying, but instead of trying to help her, the 14-year-old Josh freaked the fuck out and started hitting her with a baseball bat. When that didn't work, he decided to stab her until she stopped crying. Turns out she didn't stop crying, she was dead. Hey, quick suggestion. If somebody's crying, try ice cream, not murder. So Josh, being a 14-year-old boy, did not know how to dispose of a body, so he thought, hey, I got a good idea. I'll put her under my water bed for a week. He slept for a week with a decomposing body under his water bed. The story is truly tragic for multiple reasons, mainly due to the murder, but also partially because of the water bed. Number 4, Graham Young. Graham Young, or the teacup murderer, which is a very dainty name for a murderer, was arrested for the first time when he was 14 years old for poisoning his whole family. L'chaim, or anti-l'chaim. L'chaim means to life, so I guess whatever death is. So Young's family started falling ill one by one. Graham's father said, hey, buddy, maybe that chemistry set is, leaking some noxious gases into the environment and making us all sick. And Graham was like, respect my privacy, Dad! Which just goes to show you, you should never respect your children's privacy. If they're not jacking it, they're probably planning to murder you. It turns out Graham was poisoning his whole family when they only found it out after his stepmother died, and in her system they found poison. What's impressive, nope, wrong word, what's terrible is that when Graham was incarcerated, Graham Young poisoned an inmate with cyanide that he made himself with laurel bush tree leaves. Use science for good, you villain. By 1970, which is not enough years for him to be in prison, seeing as he got caught in 1961, the doctors at the dumb prison, the dumb doctors, said, you know what, we cured him because we're super smart and the system works. And Graham was like, gotcha. Some fool hired him, and he poisoned all of his co-workers. Young died in 1990, but in 2005, a young Japanese woman poisoned her mother after seeing a movie inspired by Young's life. Time is a flat circle. Number 3, Jordan Brown. Jordan Brown was 11 years old when he killed his father's fiancée, who was pregnant with her unborn child. When I was 11 years old, I left a voicemail to a boy who didn't like me, cry singing "Ain't Too Proud to Beg." So I get pubescent emotion. I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I just killed him, I would spare myself the embarrassment. Jordan was apparently jealous of the attention the pregnant fiancé and their 8-month-old fetus, which is classic. I get it. Like, if your father remarries somebody, it's gonna be hard for a while. I would say try not murdering them. Give him a shot. He was originally charged as an adult, but that sentence was changed, and he only served 7 years in jail. Oh, by the way, he was released from prison of July of 2016, so he's out there, guys. He's 18, he's legal. Go get him. What a catch. This tragedy is pretty cut and dry, but here's the kicker. The gun that Jordan Brown used was a youth model gun gifted to him from his father. Which means, if you're not catching on, a gun for kids. What? I personally believe we don't need kids' versions of a lot of things. Guns should be number 1 on that list. Number 2, the Menendez brothers. The Menendez brothers are not kids per se. They are children of parents whom they killed. Spoiler alert. Lyle and Eric Menendez were 2 brothers who were diagnosed with sociopathic tendencies at a young age, and they were super rich. They went to the Clueless High School. In the late 80s, the boys see a miniseries on television called The Billionaire Boys Club, where they get the idea, we could just murder our parents and get all of their money. After murder of their parents, the Menendez brothers went to a movie theater and bought a ticket for an alibi. Pretty smart for 2 complete dum-dums. In their trials, they were claiming that they had been sexually and physically abused by their father since they were very, very small. Their justification for the murder is that they were killing their mother to protect her from their father, whom they also killed. Yeah, that makes sense. They bought it. So after not being tried for the murder of their parents, 7 months after the trial, they would go on to spend up to $1 million. As you'd imagine, that raised suspicion of police officers saying, oh, wait, hold on, that's not usually how people grieve. While all of this was good evidence stacking against the Menendez brothers, what put them in jail was Eric's total breakdown in a psychoanalyst office. He confessed to everything. The Menendez brothers are still alive, in jail, and goodbye forever. We don't need ya. Number 1, Mary Bell. Guess what? Mary Bell was 11. Holy shit. So the day before Mary Bell's 11th birthday, she murdered a 4-year-old boy. While Mary Bell committed the first murder alone, she and her friend Norma, no relation, same last name, both evil little girls, committed the second murder of a 3-year-old together. The 3-year-old boy died of strangulation. After he died, they mutilated his body by carving an M with scissors into his stomach. This is so dark. I feel like this is darker than anything I've ever done. She and her friend vandalized a preschool saying, "We did this murder," and the police dismissed it as a prank. At least look into it, guys. So when Mary Bell was in prison, her mother, the monster that she is, told stories about her childhood and also plagiarized some writing and said that it was from Mary Bell and then published it in newspapers. Everybody's the worst. Mary Bell was released from prison in 1980 after serving 12 years. She, by all intents and purposes, is living a very normal life. She is now living under a new name. She had kids. Those kids had kids. She's a fucking grandmother. Mary Bell found love. What am I doing? You talk about Satan 3 times and nobody fucking wants to date you. You can murder a 3-year-old and now you have grandkids? How is that fair? I just want a baby. Well, there you have it, a bunch of tiny psychopaths.